What is up, bro? It's your boy Dylan ×5, man. Today we're gonna be reacting to the 10 greatest lie, cheat, steal moments from Eddie Guerrero, man. Now, if you don't know, bro, Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler all time. Like, all time. I want an Eddie Guerrero tattoo. That's how much I love Eddie, bro. All right? But anyways, man, that's what we're gonna watch today. There's gonna be some crazy moments in here. If you know Eddie, man, I lie, I cheat, I steal. I mean, come on. What more needs to be said? Really? But stop, man. Before we do any of that, subscribe. Subscribe and join the ×5 task force, man. If you ain't part of the task force, fucking, what you doing? What you doing? Hit the subscribe button. Come on. Hit it. Leave a like, comment, do all that. Share with your friend. Throw a little alley to your friend with the video, man. Now let's go. Let's get into it.
Kurt Angle had the 3 eyes. John Cena had hustle, loyalty, and respect. For Brock Lesnar, it was eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. While for Eddie Guerrero, it was all about lying, cheating, and stealing. Eddie made a career out of tricking his opponents, lying to referees, and stealing victories, as well as all sorts of other items along the way. Guerrero's behavior was quite different from that of a typical babyface, but this was all part of his charm. That and his connection with the crowd
Eddie, man.
Some of the reasons why he's held
Eddie was the best, bro. Hey, if you ain't get to witness Eddie, sorry.
Like him, that talked like him and had that personality and that, you know, and you knew when you lost Eddie Guerrero that you lost a one-of-a-kind.
Eddie's motto of lie, cheat, steal resulted in some truly
Eddie was amazing, man. Eddie was amazing.
To this day.
Look at this. Hit him with the chair. Throw the chair out the ring. Lay on the ground. My boy. Yup. Anytime you see that now, bro, Eddie did that.
Top 10 Eddie Guerrero lying, cheating, and stealing moments. Before
Eddie hit him with the belt, dropped the belt, lay down himself, make it look like he got hit.
Deceiving the referee was by planting a weapon on his opponent. And Guerrero was up to his old tricks in a match against Matt Hardy on SmackDown in 2003. After the referee grabbed the United States title belt from Hardy, Eddie's nephew Chavo ran to hit Matt with the tag team belt, and this allowed Eddie to get the win. Latino Heat loved to bend the rules any way he could to gain an advantage. And this included moving the tag rope during a match where he teamed with Booker T to face the Bashams in 2005. Even though the referee caught him, you have to love Eddie for his creativity.
I've never seen that before, I gotta say that.
It was quite fitting that Eddie won his final ever match in classic lie, cheat, and steal fashion. While wrestling Mr. Kennedy on SmackDown, Eddie smacked a chair off the mat and then threw it to Kennedy, while Guerrero pretended as if he had just
Eddie different, man. Look at him. Like, he knew how to do it, bro. He was amazing. The GOAT. In my opinion, the GOAT. That's just me, though, man.
Stealing Kurt Angle's possessions and auctioning them off.
Here we go, number 10.
Kurt Angle took SmackDown by storm in 2004. And even when Kurt was injured, Guerrero still found ways to torment the Olympic gold medalist. But with Kurt set to return to action by facing Eddie at SummerSlam, Latino Heat had one more trick up his sleeve to get under Angle's skin.
Didn't work.
After Kurt had been fired as SmackDown general manager, Guerrero managed to get a hold of the items Angle decorated his office with. Eddie hatched a plan to auction off each one of Kurt's
drew a
possessions
mustache on this
Kurt
man.
eventually interrupted and looked to get revenge by stealing Guerrero's lowrider. Unfortunately for Angle, Eddie had booby-trapped the car, which left Kurt humiliated. Guerrero then got Angle's music to play, as Eddie and the fans
bro, Eddie different, bro.
Directed at Angle.
You suck. You suck. Did Eddie start the "You Suck" chant?
Divas to try and help increase the value of Angle's possessions. They each signed Angle's old leg cast, while Eddie offered to add hydraulics to Kurt's wheelchair. Eddie then mentioned that he, just like Angle, also competed in the Olympic Games. Eddie then shows us a hilarious promotional video hyping SummerSlam in which Eddie cheats to win the 100-meter sprint.
Stole my memorabilia. That was for a good cause. That was for charity. I don't give a damn.
Number 9.
That was for charity.
Next, we'll look at a match where Eddie's attempt to cheat backfired.
Oh my
this happened when he
gosh.
teamed with Booker T to challenge Rey Mysterio and Rob Van Dam for the WWE Tag Team titles on the last SmackDown.
I wish we still had Eddie, man. Eddie was amazing.
Taken out, a familiar smile
miss
came
Eddie,
over
man.
Eddie's face, which is usually a precursor to him bringing a weapon into the ring. However, this time, Eddie wrestled with his conscience a bit before grabbing the tag belt and placing it onto the chest of Rey Mysterio, so that when Nick Patrick got up, it looked as though Rey had hit Eddie with the gold. Eddie tried his luck once too often, though, as Patrick turned around when Eddie was taunting Mysterio. Latino Heat then tried to convince the ref he'd been hit. even getting Patrick to raise his
bro.
hand. As
Eddie
he did
literally
this,
said,
Ray interrupted and was eventually able to
not
pin
getting up.
Guerrero, allowing Mysterio and RVD to retain the tag titles. After the match,
Oh my
Eddie
goodness.
hilariously explained to Booker T what had happened, while Mysterio laughed, having got one over on Latino Heat. Number 8, Poison's Big Show's burrito. By the fall of 2003,
Wait,
Eddie
what?
held both the United States and tag team titles, as his popularity was soaring. It was during this time that Eddie also had some run-ins with the Big Show, who had his eyes on the US Championship. After Show attacked the Guerreros backstage, Eddie planned to get his revenge. First, we would see a Mexican gentleman attempt to deliver some burritos to Eddie. However, the Big Show took a few for himself, leaving just one for Eddie that Show covered in some special sauce. Show then wrestled Orlando Jordan. However, it was clear that something was wrong with the world's largest athlete. Show was in so much trouble he had to walk out on the match to get to the nearest toilet. This meant Big Show lost via countout, but this would be the least of the Giants' worries. With Show struggling inside a bathroom stall, Eddie revealed his
Eddie's
master plan.
stupid,
Latino
bruh.
Heat covered the burritos with a secret sauce.
I'm so into this. I'm like forgetting to talk, I feel like,
Big Show
man.
especially delivering some price.
Oh, this shit's hilarious. Bro, he just kicked the nod.
And as if it couldn't get any worse
WWE
for
is
the Big Show,
wild
the next week he'd
for that.
still be full of crap, but it was going to take more than toilet paper to clean up this mess. Number 7,
Bro,
Eddie
what?
steals the Great American Award. With Kurt Angle out
What?
injured,
Nah,
having taken up the
WWE
role
was
as
different
SmackDown
back in the
General
day. They
Manager,
did
he
not
was
let
asked for
this man
deciding the
spray
number 1 contender for
Dookie
Eddie
on the
Guerrero's
Big Show.
WWE Championship. This was to be decided via fan voting on WWE.com.
What is this
where the winner would also
pixelation,
receive the
bruh?
Great American Award. But despite John Cena's landslide victory, the number 1
Damn.
contendership and award was given to JBL. Angle then revealed the trophy. However, it was clear that it had been stolen by Eddie. Guerrero then drove down to the ring using the award as a hood ornament. Eddie threatened to destroy the trophy as well as JBL's limo, while Angle demanded the trophy be given back. Guerrero did eventually break part of the trophy by snapping
Bruh,
off one
Eddie
of the Eagles'
hilarious.
I will
Damn.
be extremely. Oh, what the?
Eddie then proceeded to attack JBL with the trophy as Bradshaw and Angle fled the ring. From there, Guerrero destroyed the award with a steel chair. Angle was on fire during this segment as he and JBL sold their anger over Eddie stealing and breaking the trophy tremendously. As for Eddie, well, he was his usual comedic self here. Overall, this was a great way to continue.
Bro, Eddie just knew how to like work the crowd, bro. It's so perfect.
Champions feud with
He knew how to
JBL.
like
Number 6,
make it
stealing Ric
memorable
Flair's
every
number.
night.
Next, we have an all-time great Royal Rumble moment that took place at the 2005
Oh
event.
my
Eddie and
God.
Ric Flair were next
The
out to draw their
advertisement
numbers for the
back
Rumble
then,
match.
bruh.
Flair went first and was overjoyed after finding out the number he drew. Guerrero, on the other hand, wasn't so pleased. After the Nature Boy was done celebrating, Eddie hugged him and wished Rick good luck. After Eddie left, Flair then proudly showed off his number to the Divas and general managers. They looked on in confusion, and Nate would soon find out why when he looked at his number again and came to an unfortunate realization.
He switched the numbers.
Guerrero! Guerrero stole my number!
Later on in the show, SmackDown GM Teddy Long demanded that Eddie return the stolen number to Flair. Eddie eventually gave it back, but there was still another surprise in store for the Nature Boy.
My wallet, look at that 20
Once the Royal Rumble match began, we would soon learn why Guerrero had switched out his number for Flair's, since Eddie entered the match first, while Rick was the final entrant in the coveted number 30 spot. Number 5, Eddie caught red-handed
1 in
by the
30,
referee.
of course.
We've got another example of Eddie being caught in the act of cheating, and it once again involves
Well,
Rey
I feel
Mysterio.
like
This
Eddie
time it was
always
he and
got
Eddie that were
caught
the tag team
against Rey,
champions,
man.
But that didn't stop the two from wrestling each other on SmackDown in early 2005. Sometime into the match, the referee accidentally ended up on the receiving end of a seated senton by Rey. The smirk on Eddie's face could only mean one thing. Guerrero set out to stage the scene again, just like before, but this time, he was extra careful. However, Rey managed to turn the tables by throwing the belt to Eddie while the ref, Brian Hebner, got back up.
Rey has the tag team gold, and Rey just turned the tables on Eddie. The referee's coming too. You gotta get rid of that title, Eddie.
Guerrero then had to hide the belt under his body as Hebner attempted to figure out what happened.
See,
And just when Eddie
Ray
tried
the
to
only
dispose
one
of
that
the
could get
title,
over on
Hebner
Eddie,
caught him in
bruh.
the act as Ray
He the
laughed on
only
in the
one that
background.
could,
Hebner
like,
saw this
flip
and
the
then
script on
confronted Ray,
Eddie, man.
threatening to disqualify both
It
men.
was
As
different.
Guerrero complained he had unknowingly positioned himself for the 619, but he was able to dodge it, responding with a small package that Mysterio was able to counter into a pin of his own, and this ultimately earned Ray the win. Afterward, Ray forcibly shook Eddie's hand after Guerrero had refused to show any sportsmanship. They eventually hugged, although it was clear Eddie was upset that Mysterio had now gotten the better of him twice. This played into Eddie's eventual heel turn on Ray that occurred a few months later. Number 4,
Damn.
stealing JBL's limo. Even though Eddie had his lowrider, that didn't stop him from having fun with other people's cars.
Eddie
JBL
wildin', bro.
experienced this more than
Oh
once,
my
including the
God,
time
he did
Eddie
not
stole
put the
Braxton's
limo up on
at
bricks,
SmackDown in
bruh.
2004.
Eddie put the limo on bricks. Yo.
And it's gonna be better than Disneyland. Orale, ho.
When Guerrero returned to the arena with the limo,
Nah.
it was clear he'd been out.
Bro, I
on one
fucking
hell of a
love
joyride.
Eddie, bro.
Once JBL regained consciousness.
Oh man,
he
I
pulled
wish
out
we
the
had
backseat,
somebody.
and it was only
Eddie just
then
had the
that he realized
energy,
just
man.
how
He
much
just had
damage
that
Eddie had
energy,
caused.
like
This drove Bradshaw to
it's just
tears
pure
while Guerrero
joy
looked
every
on,
time,
grinning from
man.
ear to ear to
Look at
close
him.
out an incredibly funny segment.
It looks like you got a hangover, ese! Órale, viva mi raza!
Number 3, Eddie's whipful thinking. On the November 6,
Oh,
2003
man.
episode of SmackDown, the deck was stacked against Eddie. He went up against the Basham brothers in a 2-on-1 handicap match. The Bashams also had Shaniqua in their corner, who was armed with a whip. Eddie attempted a frog
Basham.
splash,
Damn,
but
that's
as
the
he did
name I
this,
haven't
Shaniqua
heard in a
got on the
long
apron
time.
and distracted the referee, Nick Patrick. While the Basham switched places in the ring, Guerrero poked Shaniqua in the eye and managed to get a hold of the whip, which Eddie
Poked her
then
in
used
the
on both
eye?
Danny Basham and Nick Patrick before planting the whip on Basham just as Nick turned around.
The smoking gun!
And with Basham distracted, this allowed Eddie to swoop in.
Eddie
to the scoreboard
different,
and pick
bruh.
up the victory.
This
It
fool
was a
did not
classic
whip
moment
the
with Eddie
ref and
winning
then
the
hand the
only way
whip
he knew
over,
how.
bruh.
Number 2, WWE title victory. Eddie walked into the 2004 No Way Out event.
Damn,
the biggest match
Brock
of his
been around
career,
for a
challenging
long
Brock
time,
Lesnar for
too.
the WWE Championship. Despite being the heavy
That's
underdog
crazy,
on
man.
paper,
Some of the
Guerrero
Brock's
was
got
the
to wrestle
overwhelming
against
favorite
some
in the eyes of the
amazing
crowd.
people.
He was without question one of the most popular wrestlers in the company going into the pay-per-view. With the referee down, Lesnar's rival
That's
Goldberg looked set to
crazy.
hand Eddie the win by hitting a spear on the champion. But this could only muster up a 2 count from the official, and with the ref still barely conscious, Guerrero attempted
He
to
hit
use
him with the
WWE
belt.
title belt to nail Brock, only for the champ to duck and kick Eddie
Yeah,
in the gut
hit him with
before
an
hoisting him
F5?
up for the F5. But Latino Heat responded with a
Damn.
miraculous counter.
Oh, yeah, this is when he-
DDTing Lesnar
yeah.
onto the gold, and with the capacity
That
crowd
was
on
so,
their feet,
bro.
Eddie
That
delivered
was
a
such
frog
an. I
splash.
remember
The
that. It was
referee
such an
pulled over to
amazing
count the three,
counter.
making Eddie
Like,
Guerrero the new
dude,
WWE
swung him to get hit with the
champion.
F5 and then
celebrations
swung
were
it into a
spectacular, as
DDT
Eddie
onto
jumped
the
into
belt, bro.
crowd,
That was
celebrating with the
that's
very
probably one of the
people
best
who helped
counters
make
I've
all
ever
this
seen,
happen
honestly.
through their unwavering support.
For that frog splash, man.
It's a different kind of high tonight!
Still, a lot, a cheat, a still. Eddie,
Number 1,
Eddie,
WrestleMania.
Eddie.
Eddie continued to treat Vance to some fantastic television whilst WWE champion, but it couldn't have been a
Aw,
tougher first
man.
big title defense than against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 20. Angle dissected
Kurt.
Guerrero's ankle to the point where Eddie looked to untie his boot to relieve the pressure.
Oh,
and
this is when
struggled in
he-
pain. Kurt went straight back to the ankle lock, but because he had hold of Guerrero's boot, the
This is when he
champion was
slipped
able
out
to
of it,
loosen his
right?
foot out even more, allowing Eddie to escape the hold. Leaving Angle with
Yup.
Eddie's boot in his hand as Guerrero used a small package to score the pinfall, with both his feet on the ropes for leverage.
Yep.
Eddie had once
Yo,
again found
I
an
remember that
ingenious
shit
way
too.
to win.
Eddie just
And
slipped
with
right
such high
out the
stakes
boot,
up
got
for
him,
grabs on
man.
the grandest stage of them all,
Oh,
victory couldn't have
shit.
tasted any sweeter.
Yeah,
Although
these are
lying,
such
cheating, and
great
stealing in real
times,
life
bro.
might not be the best idea. In the world of wrestling,
Never
you
know.
can breed
No, don't lie and
creativity,
cheat and
resulting
steal in real life.
hilarious moments.
Don't do it. Not in real
As
life.
good as
In
Eddie
wrestling,
Guerrero,
it's okay.
one of the
Not
most
in real life,
beloved
though.
wrestlers of all time. And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like.
I
and
did
subscribe
enjoy
to the
that,
channel.
man.
And if you like this
I
one,
I
be sure to
enjoyed
check
it.
out our video
Maybe
on
I
top
enjoyed
10
it 'cause it's
craziest
Eddie,
referee
man.
bumpers in WWE.
Maybe I enjoyed it because it's Eddie. But bro, I can't, bro. Eddie, my favorite wrestler of all time, bro. Eddie just he like I don't even know how to describe it, bro. Like when I used to watch Eddie, it was amazing. Like he had fun doing it. He just made wrestling look so much fun. Like, and he was a bad guy, but a good. Like you didn't know if he was good or bad. Like, oh my god, bro. Bro, I miss Eddie, bro. Like, fuck, man. Damn. But you know what? If Eddie was here, he would say, don't forget to join the ×5 Task Force, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace.